Hi everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne, thank you for being here today. Welcome to March 14th, 2021. Spring forward with your clocks. If any of those of you watching forgot to do that, it definitely happens naturally on our phones, but I have 2 or 3 other clocks, including that one I see, that need to be, spring forward. So what it means is longer days, which is exciting and exhilarant, and I absolutely love this time of year, and it seems to come a little quicker each year. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I'm all for it. And so welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for today and messages, and this is the featured sun sign of Pisces. Hi beautiful Pisces, I love you so much. I love you more than I can express to you, which is kind of understandable. I have a Pisces rising, and anybody that has any specific inner planets, Mercury, Mars, Venus, in addition to your sun and moon, of course, ascendant, as well as Venus in this particular sign of Pisces, should certainly have been and are still feeling this incredible, enormous, incredibly powerful, loving, and healing energy that came from the new moon in Pisces yesterday. So it was a stellium of stars in planets in Pisces, and it's still being felt by me. Yesterday was extremely powerful in my body. I could feel the changes. I could feel the release. I could feel the healing. I could feel my mind, going in directions I wanted it to, because it's so important. What we think is what happens everywhere, right? And I know this, and yet sometimes it's more difficult than I thought that it would be at this point in my life. I don't know if you can relate to that, Pisces, but it's absolutely makes sense for you. So for every Pisces out there, have a beautiful, beautiful remainder of your Pisces season, because happy birthday to all of you, and especially if it's today. And it will be through the 20th next week, and that's going to be Aries. So there's just this amazing, I find extremely harmonizing energy with the love and emotional centered Pisces, the sincere, selfless, caring, romantic Pisces, with Venus in your sign and Mercury still in your sign, and of course yesterday the moon and now the sun. The moon is still in your sign until earlier this evening, when it then goes into Aries. So it's still that beautiful, creative kind of, I want to release, renew, imagination, creativity, like I said. Neptune ruled, which I didn't bring up. Neptune is also in your sign and will be for at least another 4 years, I believe. It tends to go in a sign except for about 7 years. So, there's just a lot of this Neptune energy, a lot of the ability to imagine your life exactly the way you want it to be. And I think you're very, very good at manifesting. You're incredibly good at that, but you're also intelligent. So the two of them combined, like I said, and then when you mix this energy of Aries that's coming through tonight, and that'll continue to go, because they represent the beginning of astrology, basically, and the new year for astrology and all the signs, and that's just going to bring this power and soul energy, and it's an amazing, beautiful ingredient, if you will, or ingredients that create new beginnings, optimism. Now, because we have Aquarius this year as a predominant energy for all of us, in air sign, and because Jupiter and Saturn are going to be close knit to get the whole year, complete opposition in energies, but also finding that because of that, the balance that comes there within, well, you have Saturn and Jupiter in your 12th house, Pisces, and that is the house of undoing, subconscious, dreams, working through all the issues and all the things of karmic past life things, which is what you're about, Pisces. You're very spiritual. You're known as the old soul. You have wisdom beyond our understanding at times. It's just, things, and it's, I believe, because of your many lifetimes and, knowledge that comes with that. You always want to impart that. You want to be one with everyone. You want to be a chameleon. You are a mutable sign, so you're very good at that. You're very very caring. I mean, it just, everything to you is about going with the flow if you possibly can. There's the fish going in two different directions. There is the duality. So there can be very, well, certainly, I want to say more internal, more subdued, kind of private Pisces. I know a lot of times that are, you know, a little bit maybe less able to communicate. They feel, they sense, they know, but that's not necessarily something they can bring forth to people. Then there's the ones that are incredibly capable of that and incredibly talented in whatever field that may be, as far as speaking, acting, and all that. Coming and becoming a part of whatever you choose to be, your surroundings, you know, the people you tend to become them. You know, like my best girlfriend when I was younger, we're totally different in stature and physical appearance, but we had the same, you know, personality traits, and I want to say physical traits that we picked up from each other. So we were almost like one in our minds, you know. So if that makes sense, that's kind of what's going on and does tend to go on with the Pisces. So this is about you today, Pisces. But I also want to pull, like I always do, or I should say, toss the dice for your highlighted connection, specifically that Spirit wants you to hear about for reasons I don't know, but I would imagine you, of course, would. And maybe you don't know, but it's something that you need to know. And when it's about love connections, it's about all types of love. And love of life, love of yourself, love of your relationships, your family, friends, work partnerships, your jobs, your inspirations, your creations, of which you have many, because you're one of the most creative signs in the zodiac. So to you, beautiful Pisces, and for all that you impart and the energies that you share and can bring to each and every one of us now and forever, basically, I'm going to... Okay, that's Aquarius. We just did Aquarius. We've had Aquarius come up as a featured sign, or maybe it was just one, it was Aquarius with their highlighted, and then 2 other times with Aquarius. Let's try one more time. I'm trying to make an even playing field, but if it comes up again, then that's exactly what I need to read for you. That fell off the board. 3's a charm. Gemini. Love it. Very, very important. I actually see this combination many times. You're right next to each other in the, what am I trying to say? I apologize. No, you're not. That's Cancer. But you are a water sign. Gemini is the air sign. And it is a predominance of air, as I mentioned. So there's something really, really vital and important for you this year, Pisces, in regards to your ability to communicate. And I don't know how that is. Like I said, it could be internal. It could be with your spirituality and the teachings that you want to share with others through YouTube, through podcasts, different medias. Writing is essential. You're incredibly good at writing, and just bringing from your heart the truest of feelings and ways to kind of share that with others and enlighten them. And so Gemini is definitely, I mean, here you are, like I said, a water sign. You're a mutable sign. You want to see all things, be all things. You want to just allow. You want to just be at peace. You like your own schedule a lot of times. You like the time that you can be within yourself and alone, and you can rejuvenate your energy, because a lot of it gets taken as an empath, that a lot of you are. Gemini is the mind. And when the heart and the soul and the mind meet, it is just the perfect holistic kind of thing, as far as I'm concerned, in relationships, and certainly with yourself. When you live with your heart, mind, body, and soul. And the reality is that right now, Gemini is a very important influence, and they are a sister or brother sign to the Aquarian air. So they have a lot of beautiful opportunities this year as well to express themselves in some form, in maybe ways they don't know yet. They are all about getting their message across to people, teaching. They love learning. They love education. They love expanding their minds. They know so much about so many things, and they are ruled by Mercury. So I thought about it as I walked in the door yesterday. Not only was it this beautiful new moon that has just so much possibilities and inspirations that you hopefully wrote down, because I always light the candle and always ask that people or invite them to do that. It opens up an even bigger channel, I guess I could say, to allowing. When you do that, there's something about the thinking and the writing. It just always seems to actually be more cemented and become more of a reality in the three-dimensional world. But the thing is that, 2 things. So there's a very strong complementary energy with the Gemini energy and the Aquarian energy as an air sign, and the era of air that's we're going to be seeing and feeling predominance of for the next 400-600 years. So Gemini, once again, being the mutable sign like you, is something that you both are very adaptable. You like ideas, you exchange ideas, you like creativity, you love fairness and justice, you love love. You are willing to put yourself out there. You are willing to be vulnerable. And the difference is between you and Gemini is more detached when it comes to that. They have huge hearts and huge emotions, but they want to kind of separate that. And when it comes to their work and their daily, desires to create as you do, they're more about the mind, you're more about the soul and the heart. Just different angles and ways to make it appear for yourself, but both equally as important. So the two combination, like I said, is pretty amazing. But what I really love too is that Gemini has Mars in their sign through April 28th, I believe. And when you have Mars in your sign, and then you got the fire energy of Aries coming through, whatever this intention is that you put forth, and it could be the relationship, of course, it could be, like I said, just this desire to erase and to eliminate the things in your mind and your subconscious, your past that have been holding you back, opening up, just like, I think of was it the Hulk? Just the Hulk, okay. He would get this passion, or he'd have this desire to help, right, those that are in need, and it would just like turn into this monster, and his clothes would rip, and it was so dramatic. And that's what you want to do this year, because then it becomes your year next year, Pisces. So every sign that has their year approaching their solar return, where it's Jupiter in their sign for the first time in 12 years, though it was your ruling planet, and now it's Neptune. So Neptune is, once again, that ability to just imagine and, cut through the illusions, the mysteries in life that are so present, but ever, not necessarily seen, but ever so present. All of these beautiful, beautiful openings. I feel like there's this openings. I keep, Spirit keeps saying to me, yes, new beginnings, opening, removing, releasing, purging. I purged my condominium here for the first time in 18 years to the extent I never had, and the whole month of January, and I had to subside a little bit when I went back to work. But the feeling that does, to release and let go of things that have been a burden, and sometimes we don't even know what those are, so you sit and you ask Spirit to kind of help you and guide you, and they come through dreams and all those things. So, I digress a little bit, but the reality is that Mars in your sign, Gemini, is really going to fuel the fire. Whatever you have in mind, whatever intentions, whatever you do, it's happening, okay? And you've got that beautiful, natural, divine guidance to just take you there, give you that confidence. Be careful of confrontations. It's a little easier with Mars in your sign, and, it's just knowing how to say things and how not to react. It's more about, what is that saying? It's about maybe just responding as opposed to reacting is one way to put it. That's what's coming to mind right now without thinking too difficult or too hard. Simplifying it. Love this combination. A lot of conversations are had. There's no lack of the gift of gab between the two of you. But basically very much inspirational. And about that connections, those things are going to lead you to better places. And being very aware of who you do connect with. That energy is essential right now. Don't allow things and people that are not of your highest good. And if it doesn't feel good, there's a reason. Trust your gut. Trust your intuition. Right now it's extremely powerful for all of us, but definitely Pisces, and I would say Gemini too, especially if you're hanging out with each other. Let me read to you your three major categories that the highlighted connections get read for, which is another reason I do that. And then know that I finished with the oracle messages that are for every single Pisces and every single one of their connections. So somewhere within the reading in the whole is messages for every single one of you out there in regards to Pisces today as the featured sign. So they've been amazing, and I am using my beautiful movie tarot deck for this beginning of the month, and I start the mid-months tomorrow. You'll be a little longer after, once I start the mid-months again, Pisces, but come back and see from this reading onward what the storyline has to say. I would love you to resonate this very moment, and a lot of you probably are in tune, and you're on this channel for that very reason. There's something you're going to get from this reading that's going to help you and inspire you and uplift you, which is the only reason I do these. I come from a pure place that way, in authenticity, and messages do come through, and I do have intuition and insight and channels at times. But otherwise, the symbolism and things, there's a percentage of you that is absolutely going to click with, of course. And some not, but just give it some time, you know, because it's a fluid thing. It's not an absolute when it comes to energy and time and so forth. And there's always free will. You know, you hear something, you hear a message today, you're like, and I believe you. That's how I work. Nope, you're not talking to me about that. Not happening, whatever it may be. Or yes, that is actually exactly what I need to hear. So the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to this reading, and the two of you, this beautiful highlighted connection of Gemini and, you know, Pisces, and Geminis. So what does it have to say? I already loved, you know, like I said, just the commonalities with you, with the mutable aspect. Definitely interested in people and connecting and love, you know, compassion, caring, fairness, justice. You know, you're very quick-witted though, Gemini, a lot of times, and you're like, your energy is so fast that, you know, it's hard to keep up with you. But I love you for that. So the energy we're doing here is the Four of Swords. Okay, I like this a lot. It reminds me of what's happening in my life, and I'm sure a lot of you can agree. This is the Four of Swords. This is the air. This is the air element. This is the Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras. This is a predominance of the people in the world that are affected, and all of us are. So we'll feel these kind of energies entering into our life more. And once again, it's the mind. It's predominance of thought, information, you know, communication, connection, relationships, fairness, justice, truth. I mean, this is straightforward, cutting through, you know. There's no mincing of words when it comes to the air signs a lot of times. They do have to do with law, institutions, medicine, doctors, lawyers, and such. The Four is stability. The Four of Swords depicted in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is that of a person laying down and resting in retreat. Because I, for one, can tell you as a Libra that I have had the most enormous amount of overthought processes going on from many different circumstances that were leading to specific things that were meant to happen. One was a surgery. That takes a lot of thought. It does affect you whether you want it to or not, and you want to be positive, of course. But it has to do with the doctors, with your work, with your, you know, the people that'll take care of you, with your schedules, with the taking off work, with the finances, with the coverage, the medical coverage. It's everything that involved that from the beginning of the year was completely just like, I was trying to balance the balls and figure it out and do everything when I didn't understand that, but I knew I had to do some things. And if this is ringing a bell at all for you, you know that you did everything you could, and now there was a huge change, and they postponed my surgery last minute, as I was telling people that have been following me. Thank you for following me. I love you and appreciate you, and being able to share with you examples of what happens and why these cards mean what they mean, at least to me, from my perspective. And so, yeah, it was just a time to revamp and kind of review, because that was all during the retrograde. And that made absolute sense to a point, and then after a while it was like, no, this is beyond the retrograde. This is messages from Spirit saying, hold on there, Missy. You don't know the whole picture yet. Wait till the Pisces energy where you have your intuition, which is spot on, if you care to listen to it, that is. And allow yourself that time to rest. Allow yourself the time to sit back and go, I don't need to deal with this. I don't need to fight this. I don't need to be upset anymore. I don't need to be all in my mind. I want to go into my heart. I want to be able to allow the reality that I am being watched and guided and loved and provided and cared for in every second of this life. And that feels really good, because I needed that, boy. I was just like this. And I'm not. And I think I can attribute a lot to you, Pisces, and the beautiful energies that you allow us to take on and to feel and to share with us, you know. So that's what's happening right now. I think there was a lot happening, and then I think it needed to stop. And now with the retrogrades out of the way completely, till the end of April, when the shadow periods of the upcoming eclipse season in May and June, which is about Gemini, there you go. Communication. What's coming through? What is it in our job, in our everyday life that we need to perfect or understand, or what information, what knowledge are we getting? What school can we go to? What, beautiful ways to improve and to grow and to, blossom. All in your favor. But right now, the Four of Swords is like, rest. Take it easy, okay? You'll pick it up again. Those swords are there, but the four is stability, and I love that. It's feeling like you're being taken care of. Everything's going to be okay, and you know that. And then we heard information from the government where things are coming through on a financial way. Would you have the third category is finances, so I won't say any more about that right now. But I will say that I love this, and it seems perfect for the fact that I am an air sign, and that I think a lot of us have felt that way. We thought, oh, we're going to go this new year, it's going to be done, boom! And no, we had to bring in a good amount of the past, because it's just a day difference. We have time and patience and love and trust and allowing is what all of it's about. And I see that all coming through, and it's slow, but it's happening. It's just going to get better and better. So the two of you have been able to really support each other in this. I love that. I feel that very strongly. It doesn't surprise me at all with who you are in general. So it's a loving, beautiful, beautiful connection, definitely. Second category is possible blessings or obstacles. And we have the Lovers. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what I love? Look at this. Brokeback Mountain. Oh my gosh. I'm going to look up the name. It was right in my mind. Certainly the dark-haired guy, and then the first one, of course, he passed on. Well, boy, that says a lot. Thank you, Spirit. Major Arcana. Let me look it up for you as I'm thinking and bringing in the messages. Gemini, Sun or Gemini, right there. Okay. Perfect selection, certainly in love, in relationships, anything you have your mind on, any choices you've been wanting to make. It's all coming clear with this new moon and this new moon, like I said, can last 2 weeks or longer. The newness of the spring and all the new everything is just like, it's phenomenal, and it's absolutely perfect. Let me read to you, though, what it says about this beautiful, well, who this was, because it's a sister and brother. He's, well, Gyllenhaal or whatever. Okay. 6 is the Lovers. Love this deck. It's all the different movies and archetypes in the movies and the stars in the theater where we kind of just hung on and became them, like a Piscean and their chameleon ability to just be who they are around and take in that energy and that persona, right? It's amazing. That's what's happening, but this feels really good. It feels beautiful for your reading. So it was Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal as Enos Del Mar and Jack Twist in Brokeback Mountain. I did see that. I love that. It speaks a lot to the world right now and the acceptance and the ability to see different perceptions and allowing, right? And there's that beautiful energy of Pisces again. The Pisces Tarot card has 2. It's the High Priestess, but it's also the Hangman, where there's this person hanging in bliss. Halo, divine guidance, understanding of their higher power and their connection with Source at all times, and then also just a different perspective. That's all we really need to do a lot of times, is just see it in a different perspective. It's not about right or wrong, but I see that angle. And you know what? Interesting enough, a lot of the air signs is about that. Certainly Libra, they're seeing all sides of a situation. It's not just theirs. They don't have to be right, but they want to understand. They want to understand another perspective. That's not a bad thing, right? So I love that. I feel like this is definitely a good relationship, and it's one that was chosen for the right reasons. And also, if it's not a relationship or it's not pertaining to this specifically, if there's something that you're making a decision about, and maybe in a partnership with a job or an endeavor, a new artistic, endeavor is very, very strongly indicated, and it's beautiful and it's positive. And it is that duality. It's the twins. It's the partner again. It's a lot. It's perfect. So I like that a lot. And then we'll move on to the third category, which is finances, as I mentioned, because that is an energy that we all need in this life. We do. and we want it, and we don't want to necessarily, project or imagine or insist on a specific amount or outcome at any given time in the spiritual world, but you can put your greatest intention there with this new moon and your greatest desires, and you can imagine it, and you can feel it, and you can believe it, and then allow for the outcome to come, in the way that it does, because it tends to not be how we expect it, but it does come sometimes far better than we could imagine. That's something I always have to remind myself of. Look up at night and notice the vastness of this universe and universes and where we are in it, because we're all an integral part of it, right? But at the same time, I'm sure there's a lot of beautiful higher knowledge that can come to us that we may not be seeing at every given moment. Okay, so then I love this so much. I love this deck. So in the category of finances, Page of Swords, air, information. Page is youthful. Page is the beginning. Page is the start, right? And once again, beginning. A youthful kind of naivete about it. It could be the beginning of this connection that I'm speaking of, the highlighted one. But I sense it more as being this beautiful, kind of trusting, loving, childlike, let's make this happen. The information's coming through, and it is a message, and it's going to be powerful. It's going to be very clear and straightforward. We don't have any retrogrades to interfere with that. It's the mind, it's information, and it's straightforward. It's going to be perhaps quick, because if it's this Knight of Swords, that's usually the fastest knight, and it comes in rapid, like out of the blue sometimes, But do bear in mind, with Aquarius season, not as the season, as far as, the birth season like it is with our solar return like Pisces right now and the rest of the year, it's predominance of Aquarius and will be for years. It's about them being ruled by Uranus, which is all about unpredictability and changes and unexpected miracles and new beginnings and, out of the box, amazing, innovative, creative ways to change your life and improve your life. And it's usually through the mind and through ways to, once again, communicate and share and be amongst people and connect, which is huge. And so, some really good information. Don't be surprised if it has to do with the child. It could very well have to do with the child. And you're saving money to perhaps have a child. You're about to have a child. You're thinking of a child. You are the child. You want to have fun. You don't want to let go of that in the midst of all that you need to do. Laugh as much as possible. Love as much as possible. Enjoy the moments, right? And the journey, as they say. This is Robert De Niro. Is this what I think it is in Taxi Driver? Let me let you take a look, okay? Then I'll look in the book. I have not pulled out. It's a brand new deck. I just brought it out this month. It was a gift, and I'm absolutely loving it. So, I believe that's what it is. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I haven't seen that since the 70s. All right, so the Knights. Boom, 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 boom. Keanu Reeves? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. Wow, with the glasses, it reminds me of Robert De Niro. Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. I remember that like yesterday. I took my oldest son. There's a story behind that I won't go into, but it was a really awesome movie. And I'm not huge on that, but my son is. He loves all those beautiful futuristics. He's an air sign, by the way, too. What a trip. Wonderful, wonderful reading. I love the air predominance, which is very, very appropriate. I love how this highlighted connection with you, Pisces, is Gemini, and there it is. Boom. That's the one. And I see it a lot. It's a good combination. You have a lot to offer each other in your differences, too, because there are definite differences. But they meld and they really harmonize well together. And the Lovers, beautiful selection. 6 is the Lovers, and that's the balance. That's everyday. The 6th house is our everyday activities, work, love, family, and just keeping that together and having that being important. So that I really believe that with both Pisces and Gemini, that is a very large part of their love and their ambition in their life. So then I'm going to go on and read you the oracle messages. Okay, so I hope that feels right to you, because it feels beautiful to me, and it's very, very perfect with what's happening in real life time. So the first oracle is the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. She's so amazing. I aspire to be her. I mean, she's done this for so long as I have, but she got it out there. She's just like, she's out there, and she has this wonderful husband that supports her. He's an Aries. You know, she's a Cancer, but she has Libra, I believe, rising. So yeah, she's got it all together. She's very knowledgeable and makes amazing decks. And that's my goal, is to have a beautiful tarot deck I design one day. And it will happen with the right ingredients and the right people, right? And putting it out there and just believing in it. So your beautiful message, every single Pisces and all of your love connections, is milk and honey. Whew. It doesn't surprise me, because you have so many planets that are so predominantly positive and just allowing you to be your best you, and to let go of times that you felt differently. There is a tendency for Pisces to feel less than, you know, they're so sensitive, and if somebody says something that's off color, or, you know, they take it in, they really feel that, and you need to know that that is them, it's not you. You are everything, and you will always be, and this is the year to really get that together, because then next year with Jupiter, there's no stopping you. And there's the 6 again. There's that balance, there's that need to, you know, to address and allow things to be a kind of a nice, you know, balanced day-to-day activities, and not to overdo it or not to underdo it. And there's that rainbow. Kind of self-explanatory, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. Milk and honey, baby. I'm so happy for you. 51. That's like the second to the last one, as I get more familiar with this beautiful deck. So 49, 50, woo, almost there. I hope you're enjoying today. It rained a little bit, thank goodness, and it should rain a little more tonight, and then we get the sun and everything in the northern hemisphere. But spring is upon us next weekend, so I don't even believe it happened that fast, but it is. Essential meanings: the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. Oh boy, I love this for you. The oracle message: you've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey, because you know we don't always have that. You got to grab it when you can. It'll come and go, and you know about those beautiful, the different currencies and changes. You are a sign as well, Pisces, that is fully aware of the regeneration that takes place, and like I said, this phases of the moon, the cycles, just the natural course of things. I guess that's the best way to put it. Enjoying the lack that everybody wants to experience, the land of milk and honey. Of course, it's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious. When all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe, these times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone. Wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. And I do want to include that it's important to nourish your body in the proper way. That's something that I've been told to work on before I can have my next surgery. And I do really well. I really do a lot, but my history is a little too long to explain. Maybe I'll do a separate video at some point so you know who the real MaryAnne is, and a lot of my reasons for being here, and you know where I stand at this moment as the person I am in this body and this embodiment at this particular time. But it does include nourishment, and to enhance that to the best of your ability, as well as, of course, always hydration. Comes to mind, being a water sign. We tend to cry and release a lot of the toxins that way, I think, a lot of times, which is super healthy. Laughing as well, but then to replenish. Milk and honey, man. Next is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. I brought this back in yesterday. I had to with the new moon in Pisces. It's all about heart. And it's green on the outside. And by the way, next week is St. Patrick's Day. So for those who love and are a bit Irish, my sons are. I'm not, but I am through them, so, you know, I love it. And luck is on our way, boy, for every single one of us. But this is for all the beautiful Pisces, a special message from Spirit, giving you that guidance and the things you know and just reminding you. And for all of your beautiful love connections, today and always, Opportunity beckons. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's pretty incredible for you. Yeah, things are just opening up, and it's not unusual for you, to be honest. I feel like you create a lot of that. But you, like a lot of people, had a time when it was just, it's been a time of really more introspection, and especially with retrogrades where we have to review and kind of sit back and wait and be that hangman, be the patience that we so dearly wish to acquire in a lifetime if you don't have it now, which I think a lot of Pisceans do, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Opportunity beckons. I don't need to say more because it's very, very much in line with everything. And the last will be the beautiful Super Attractor Manifestation message, which is about, you know, allowing those feelings and your intuitions and your gifts of psychic clairvoyance and ability to know and see and feel what's happening and what's real. And this is for you, and it's beautiful. It is the root chakra. And there's no reversals in this. It's just the meaning behind it, and that's that passion, the depth of your passion from your heart, your full soul. Root, first chakra, right? That makes you feel that abundant, safe, prosperous kind of, you know, energy that's solid and secure in our relationships. The four, you know, the right choices, right? True manifesting is about receiving what is the highest good for all. And that is so you. That is so you. And it's just about when you're feeling good, that's fantastic. But when you're able to bring that out and share that with others so that everyone around you and everything is just this beautiful utopia of love and light, that's the real deal. So hold that in your heart, you know, and know that that's exactly what makes things better. That is what creates the life you want. That is the energy level you're looking and striving for at all times. And like attracts like. So I'm just taken in and so grateful to read this reading to you because it's beautiful. And if you did like it, please let me know. I'm watching a lot of people, I have for years, and sometimes I'm just like, gosh, they're so amazing. And I leave and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't like it. I need to let them know. That lets us know that you really are liking it and that you support and you want to be a part of it. And even if you don't, just if you like that particular video, just let me know. YouTube really likes that. That's really important to them. And it is an ego thing in a way, I would imagine. I am a sun sign as well. That's our ego and our ambitions and our delights and our interests. But it's really just that I want to have that interaction. And then you can comment when you subscribe, and you can share, and you can push that notification bell, because the days and times change with me working again. But I love you regardless. I'll do this anyway. This is absolutely from my heart, something I've done for years, and Spirit is encouraging me to do, and I always like to go with the whims and the urges of Spirit. And so have a beautiful rest of the day. Have a beautiful rest of the week. A lot of beautiful, powerful, encouraging energies coming through there as well. And if I don't see you before next month or the mid-months, hopefully I'll see you then. Until next time, take care and bye for now.